Hello, everyone. It is 3:05 p.m. and it's time for Connected Learning at KSH. This is episode 1, providing an authentic audience for students, and we want to welcome you to our very first episode. Ellen, Christy, Brian, and I will be doing this once a month, and each month we'll have a new episode focused on a new topic. Right now, you are viewing us on YouTube, and if you are live, you'll see that on the right side of your screen, you have a chat feature. So you can use that to have an ongoing conversation during our presentation. Brian will be moderating the discussion for us. And if you have any questions, please type them in the chat. And then at the end of our presentation, we'll have some time to answer your questions. And this is our first attempt at doing this, so please be kind. And we're hoping that there will be very few technical difficulties. So let's get started. First of all, why is it important for students to have an authentic audience? Well, when they have an authentic audience, they know their voice is important. And when their audience extends beyond the walls of the classroom, they feel like their voices are heard, and they realize that what they have to say and share matters, and they realize that they matter. Our new learning outcomes, our AOLA, also state the importance of allowing our students to be globally competent by supporting their interaction and communication and sharing with others from around the world. So in this photo, you can see a group of our students performing in Scotland. And while one way we can support their interactions with others around the world is by taking them to other places, we can also leverage the power of technology to help them share their knowledge, interact with others, and feel like they have an important place in our world. So in this presentation, we are going to discuss 3 ideas for using technology to share student work. And we're going to start with Ellen. And I'm going to stop. There you go.
Okay, can you guys see my screen okay?
Yep.
Okay, nice. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about is blogging, and some reasons student might want to blog is one thing that Carmen already talked about, and the reason we're doing this presentation is because of the authentic audience. So when writing matters to students, the quality of their work matters. In addition to that, it gives students voice, and blogs are kind of the new show and tell where students share their love of learning. So this is a great platform for that. In addition to that, it offers transparency. So being internet savvy in today's world means being willing to learn openly from mistakes and successes, and that can all be done through blogs. And in addition to that, practice, and blogs really provide an opportunity for regular writing practice. So a couple of things, some examples of blogs is you can actually have a public front-facing blog, or you could even have an unlisted blog. So if you just want to get your feet wet, you can start by blogging with an unlisted URL, and that's a great way that you can share with family members. But just know that if you do that, if they share that link like on Facebook, people still will be able to see it. But that's one idea for sharing your blog. The other thing is blogs can be collaborative. So you could set up a student book review blog and have multiple students contribute to that blog. We had a KGB Juniors help desk, and those students actually collaborated on a blog and shared different tutorials that they had created. And so there are many different ways that you can collaborate using blogs. Students can also have individual blogs, and this would be good for like an e-portfolio to share their writing. If they wanted to share their passion. So it could be an informal blog, or it really could be a combination of all of the above. And we also have teachers who have their own personal blog, and then students are actually guests on their blog. So the teacher logs into the blog, and then the students create the post. So that's another way that, another example of how you can kind of get started with blogging. But for today, I just want to share with you a really easy way, and you can set up an email to Blogger. So if you look on this screen here, I have a tutorial on our website, which we'll share with you at the end of this presentation. You can actually go into your settings, and you'll see this email right here, lcorday.abcde@blogger.com. If you did it right now, I have it opened up. If you wanted to send an email, then you could see that it would publish to the blog. So I actually change it. If you look at these settings, they're publish email immediately or save emails as draft posts. So if as a teacher you wanted to go in and review the blog before it was actually posted, you would probably want them saved as drafts. But you could also have them publish email immediately if you did all of that background information through Google Docs or something else. One of the drawbacks of this at Kamehameha Schools is at the bottom of our emails, and so if you have a signature or if you have that little notice, that will also come up in the post. And I did have my daughter try this, who is a Kamehameha School student, and the message did come up there as well. So that's just a really simple, easy way to get started. The terms of service for Blogger are you have to be 13 years or older to use Blogger. So this would be a great way to start with it. And then I just wanted to end with this quote. In our world today, what is a student more likely going to need to write an essay or a blog? And that's from the book, The Innovator's Mindset, which is a great read if any of you want to read it. And so now I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to turn it over to Christy.
Okay, let me get my screen shared. All right, can you see my screen? Perfect. All right, so my section on sharing is YouTube playlists. Okay. And you may already be using YouTube to show student examples or lectures, or even flipping your classroom with your own recorded video or lecture, which is all maikai. But what about student videos, right? What do you do with your student videos? So if you don't know already, YouTube is now part of our Google Apps for Education suite. And we can use the same login we use for Google Apps, right, the Google Drive. Our username and password for Google Apps is the same sign-in or username and password for YouTube. And that would get us into our account where we can save all of our videos and playlists and share our videos that way, as well as students. However, students must be 13 years and older to upload videos to YouTube, which doesn't, it's okay for the younger ones as well because the teachers can upload to YouTube and create those playlists. So playlists are still great for any age. YouTube playlist. What's a YouTube playlist? It's a way to organize your videos better. It's kind of like a folder with your selected videos in it, and it gives you the ability to share the entire playlist, or you can just select the videos in your playlist and share that link as well. So it's a great way to store and play and share your videos. Some examples of playlists. So here's a high school speech class. So teacher records all of the student speeches using her video camera. She loves her video camera. And she uploads videos to her teacher, YouTube, and organizes the student videos as individual playlists. So every playlist is a student. She uses first name in the title for the playlist. As part of the final exam, the teacher sends the students their playlist link of all their videos that they, their speech videos they had throughout the year, or actually it's a semester course. And then they watch and analyze their speeches as part of their final exam. So that's one way a playlist could be used. When you create a playlist, you're able to name it whatever you want. So like I created this playlist here, called it Digital Citizenship. And all my digital citizenship videos I found online, I would just save them into this playlist. Another example, another high school teacher. The students record videos on their own devices. Of course, every student has a laptop. They upload their video to their YouTube, and then they add the video to the teacher-created playlist. So if you go to your playlist settings in YouTube or in the playlist, there is a collaboration option. So you can turn that on. You can invite your students to collaborate, and they're able to also add their videos into the playlist. So, less work on the teacher with this option. An example of that is this summer, Ellen and I were in a cohort, a tech cohort, and one of our assignments was to add a motivational video or an inspirational video to this playlist. So you probably can't see it, but there's 90 videos in this playlist here because there was like, I don't know, 85 of us or something like that in our cohort. So this just shows a way you can collaborate. Other people can add videos into the playlist. Here's in a middle school example. So the teacher has the students turn in their videos, then she posts them up in her YouTube playlist. She then embeds the playlist on her blog for all to view. So really nice playlist. You can just copy the URL, right? Embed it into your blog or your Google site or whatever you have posted out there to share. And well, YouTube playlists are a great way to organize, collect, and showcase videos. And that's the end of my part. So I am going to stop sharing and pass it on
to me. Okay, so let me start my screen share. And I'm going to be talking about Google Sites. Can you guys see that? Okay. So Google Sites is another great way to help your students share their work online. And why? Well, they're great for a number of reasons. They can be collaborative or individual. So you could have a small group of students working on a Google site. You could have an entire class have one Google site. You could have individual students each have their own Google site. Google Sites can be public or private. And they are student-driven, meaning students can have full editing power. So ultimately, unlike the other two examples, a student can have full power over the content and the design of their site. Okay, so Google Sites is new and improved. So a lot of us are familiar maybe with the look of old Google Sites, which even though did its job, wasn't too aesthetically pleasing. So the new Google Sites is actually more like Weebly or Wix or some of the other website tools that we can use. Of what a new Google site would look like. And you can see how it's more streamlined and a little more modern in its look and use of text and images. So I have 3 examples here from one of our 5th grade teachers at the elementary school, Karina K. She actually has her students use Google Sites as an e-portfolio. So I'm going to quickly show you a couple of the students in her class. So this is Leahi, and their home page is their welcoming page. So they have a picture and they have a little welcoming message, and then they have a little video. And their audience here is their ohana. So even though they might be sending this link out to other students, or they might be looking at their peers' work throughout the year, they're really doing this so that at the end of the year, they have a record of what they've done for the entire year with their teacher. Here's Damien's. So same idea, a nice welcoming page, and then you can see each of them have a menu here of the different things that they'll be filling out throughout the year. And trimester 1 is almost over, so they'll be filling out these trimester 1 sections soon. There's Pokemon waving. And then Tehani. And you can see, even though they all have the same elements, they have their title and their welcome message and their video, they can really personalize it by changing their backgrounds and their text and just making it theirs. And Kumuke does a great job of making these accessible to parents. So she has a link here on her blog to all of the students' Google Sites. So at any time during the year, a student can share the link with their family, or the family can go onto Mrs. K's blog and click on their child and see their Google site.
And Carmen, you can keep your screen shared. The one thing
Okay.
that we wanted to mention also is one of the things that we didn't really focus on was Twitter, but we did want to say with all of these examples, you can tweet out, and through the power of Twitter, you can actually invite others to comment on your student work because we know how much students love that feedback. So that's one of, like, for me it's like the ultimate way to share work. So it is just one way, but I just think that we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Twitter as a way to also provide an authentic audience. So maybe we could do something on Twitter another day.
And if you at any time start using Twitter, any of us are here to help you too to get started. Okay, so now we have time set aside for questions. Brian, did any questions come in?
Hey, Carmen. No questions came in, but I thought of a question to ask on my own here, and that is,
Okay.
on the blog posts via email, can the teacher edit the post to remove the automatic notification that was attached?
Yeah, so the answer to that question is yes. That when it is, whether it's saved as a draft or as a post, because the teacher actually is the owner, the teacher can remove that. So we had some technical difficulties during our recording, but we wanted to let you know to visit this survey to give us some feedback and maybe suggest ideas for future um, Connected Learning Live events. And then in addition to that, all of our resources are here on our website, which will also come up on the next page. And these are the different ways you can get in touch with us. So if you have any questions about any of the things that we shared today, different ways for sharing with an authentic audience, please feel free to email us or tweet us, and we're happy to help you. And then we also have another event coming up in November, so stay tuned for that. And finally, we'd like to leave you with this quote: "It is no longer enough to do powerful work if no one will see it."